My name is Camden. I am 28 years old and I live in a small town outside of Dallas, Texas. I never thought social media would end my relationship. For 2.5 years, I dated a woman named Amber. I loved her. I thought I would marry her someday. But there were small signs I ignored, little things that should have warned me. The biggest one was how she always needed to win every single argument. It did not matter what we were fighting about. She had to be right. That Tuesday evening, after we argued about something as simple as who would make dinner, Amber did something I could not accept. What she posted on Facebook that night changed everything. Before I tell you what happened next, I want to know, where are you watching this from? Drop your city or country in the comments below. If you have ever dealt with someone who tries to embarrass you publicly, you will understand this story on a deep level. Hit that like button if you think respect goes both ways in a relationship. And subscribe, because this channel is all about real stories from real people. No sugarcoating, no fairy tales, just truth. Now let me take you back to that Tuesday evening when I learned the hard way that sometimes you have to call someone's bluff. I met Amber at a friend's gathering 3 years ago. It was one of those warm summer nights in Austin where everyone stands around with drinks, laughing and talking. She walked in, wearing a burgundy dress that caught the light perfectly. Her smile was bright. Her voice had this melodic quality that made you want to keep listening. When she talked to me, she had this way of making me feel like I was the only person in the room. That feeling was intoxicating. The first few months of dating her felt like a dream. We took a road trip to Austin together, spent entire weekends exploring new restaurants and hidden spots around the city. Amber made the best lasagna I had ever tasted. She would wake up early on Saturday mornings to make it from scratch, and we would eat it while watching old movies. Those mornings felt perfect. I introduced her to my family after 4 months. My parents liked her. My younger sister thought she was great. Everything seemed to be falling into place. But around the 6-month mark, small cracks started showing. I did not see them as red flags back then. I told myself every couple has disagreements. I convinced myself that what I was noticing was normal. The first sign came when we were deciding what movie to watch one Friday night. I suggested an action film I had been wanting to see. Amber wanted to watch a romantic comedy. We ended up watching her choice. Fine. No big deal. But the next weekend, when I brought up watching the action movie I had mentioned, she said, "You always want your way. Why do you have to be so controlling?" That comment threw me off. I had let her pick the movie the week before. How was I being controlling? But I did not push back. I just said okay, and we watched another romantic comedy. Then there was the dinner with my friends. I had known these guys since high school. We met up once a month to catch up, play pool, and just relax. After one of these dinners, Amber complained the whole drive home. She said my friends were boring. She said I spent too much time with them. She said I cared more about them than about her. I felt confused and a little hurt, but I thought maybe she just wanted more quality time with me. So I started seeing my friends less often. Social media became another issue. Amber posted on Facebook constantly. She would write these vague status updates about her relationship, but she never tagged me. Things like, "Some people just do not appreciate what they have," or "When you give everything and get nothing back." Every time I saw one of these posts, my stomach would tighten. When I asked her about them, she would roll her eyes and say, "It is not about you. Why are you so insecure?" That word, insecure, she used it a lot. It made me question myself. Was I being too sensitive? Was I overreacting? I started noticing a pattern in how we fought. Every argument, no matter how small, followed the same script. I would bring up something that bothered me. She would turn it around and make it about something I did wrong. Then she would use phrases like, "You are too sensitive," or "You are overreacting." By the end of the conversation, I would be apologizing, even when I was not sure what I was apologizing for. One weekend, I planned a camping trip. I spent hours researching the best spot, packing all the gear, planning meals. I was excited to spend time outdoors with her. But from the moment we got there, Amber complained. It was too hot. There were too many mosquitoes. There was no cell service. She could not check her social media. After just one night, she insisted we leave. I was disappointed, but I did not want to fight, so we packed up and drove home. 2 days later, I saw her Facebook post. It said, "Some people plan the worst dates ever," with an eye-rolling emoji. I felt humiliated. Our mutual friends saw that post. My coworkers who were friends with her on Facebook saw it. But when I confronted her, she laughed. She said, "It is just a joke. Why are you so serious?" There was that phrase again. I was being too serious, too sensitive, too something. My best friend Derek noticed the change in me. One night over beers, he said, "Man, she is changing you. You used to be more relaxed." I defended Amber immediately. I told him he did not understand her like I did. I said every relationship takes work. Looking back now, that was the moment I should have woken up. Derek saw what I refused to see. But I loved Amber. I thought love meant fighting through the hard times. I thought if I just tried harder, things would get better. I was wrong, and things were about to get much worse. It was a Tuesday evening in September, the kind of day that drains you. I had worked 11 hours straight without a proper lunch break. All I wanted was to come home, relax, and maybe eat something decent. When I pulled into the driveway at 6:15, I felt exhausted down to my bones. I walked through the front door. The kitchen was exactly how it had been that morning. Dishes in the sink, coffee mug on the counter, the trash bag needed to be taken out. I opened the refrigerator. It was nearly empty. Some condiments, leftover takeout from 3 days ago that probably was not safe to eat anymore. I closed the refrigerator door and walked into the living room. Amber was sitting on the couch watching television. She was still in her pajamas. It was her day off from the salon where she worked. I was not judging her for relaxing. Everyone deserves rest. But I had been hoping maybe we could have dinner together. I was too tired to cook alone. "Hey," I said, trying to sound cheerful. "What do you want to do for dinner? Should I order something?" She did not look up from the television. "I do not know. You figure it out." Her tone was flat and annoyed. I tried again. "I have been working all day. Maybe we can cook something together, make it fun." That was when she snapped. She turned to face me, her expression sharp. "Oh, so now you are saying I am lazy? I had a long day too, you know." I felt confused. "I did not say that. I just asked if we could cook together." "You always criticize me." Her voice got louder. "Everything I do is wrong. I am tired of this." My exhaustion mixed with frustration. I did not have the energy for this fight. I took a deep breath. "Amber, I am too tired for this. Let us just order pizza." She stood up from the couch. "Fine, do whatever you want. You always do anyway." She stormed into our bedroom and slammed the door so hard, the picture frames on the hallway wall shook. I stood there alone in the living room. The sound of that door slamming echoed in my ears. I felt drained. Not just physically tired from work, but emotionally exhausted from this constant cycle. I pulled out my phone and ordered 2 pizzas. One with her favorite toppings, one with mine. For the next hour, I sat alone on that couch. The television was still on, but I was not watching it. I was thinking, is this normal? Is this how relationships are supposed to feel? I thought about my parents. They argued sometimes, sure, but they always talked things through. They respected each other. When was the last time Amber and I had a conversation where I felt respected? The doorbell rang. The pizza delivery arrived. I paid the driver, brought the boxes inside, and walked to the bedroom door. I knocked gently. "Amber, pizza is here." No response. I knocked again. "Amber." Still nothing. I left the pizzas on the kitchen counter and sat down to eat alone. I was not even hungry anymore. I took a few bites just because I knew I should eat something. Then I pulled out my phone and started scrolling through Facebook without really paying attention. That was when I saw the notification. Amber had posted a new status. My heart started beating faster. I had a bad feeling before I even opened it. The post read, "Sometimes you have to walk away from toxic men who drain your energy and never appreciate anything you do. Know your worth, queens." Then, she added a crown emoji and a flexing arm emoji. The hashtags were the worst part. Hashtag toxic masculinity. Hashtag know your worth. Hashtag single and happy. I read it 3 times to make sure I was seeing it correctly. My hands started shaking. Toxic. She was calling me toxic on Facebook, where all of our friends, my family, my co-workers could see it. We had just argued about dinner, about pizza. And her response was to publicly call me toxic. I scrolled down to the comments. 5 people had already liked it in less than 2 minutes. Taylor Amber's best friend had commented, "Yes, girl, you deserve better," with a bunch of raised hands emojis. Another friend commented, "I always knew he was not good enough for you." I felt like someone had punched me in the stomach. For 2.5 years, I had tried to make this relationship work. I had changed my schedule for her. I had seen my friends less. I had apologized for things I did not even do just to keep the peace. And this was how she talked about me. To the entire world, I sat there staring at my phone. Anger rose up inside me, hot and sharp. But underneath the anger was something else. Clarity. For the first time in months, maybe years, I saw the situation clearly. This was not love. This was not a partnership. This was someone who did not respect me, trying to control me through humiliation. Amber wanted to embarrass me. She wanted to play this game fine. I could play too. An idea formed in my mind. It was bold, maybe even petty, but it was also exactly what needed to happen. I stood up from the couch. For the first time in months, I knew exactly what I needed to do. I opened Facebook again on my phone. I looked at Amber's post one more time. "Sometimes you have to walk away from toxic men who drain your energy and never appreciate anything you do." I smiled. Not a happy smile. A smile of someone who just made a decision. I pressed the like button on her post. Then I scrolled down to the comment section and typed, "I agree." I added a thumbs up emoji. Then I hit post. I knew Amber would get a notification. I knew she would see that I liked her post calling me toxic. I knew she would be confused. Good. Let her be confused. I put my phone in my pocket and walked to our storage room at the back of the house. I found what I was looking for immediately. 2 large suitcases. The same ones Amber had brought when she moved in a year ago. They were gray with pink trim. I grabbed both of them and carried them to our bedroom. I did not knock this time. I just opened the door. Amber was lying on the bed facing the wall. When she heard the door open, she did not turn around. "What do you want?" Her voice was cold. "I am helping you pack," I said calmly. She turned over quickly. "What?" I placed both suitcases on the floor and opened them. "You said you need to walk away from toxic men. I am helping you walk away." I walked to the closet and started pulling out her clothes, dresses, shirts, jeans. I began folding them and placing them neatly in the first suitcase. "Camden, what are you doing? Stop." Amber jumped off the bed and tried to grab the clothes from my hands. I kept my voice steady. "You posted that you need to walk away from toxic men. So walk." "I was not talking about you. It was just a post." Her voice was getting louder. I stopped folding for a moment and looked at her. "A post that 300 people saw, including my mother, my sister, my boss, my co-workers." I went back to packing. I pulled her shoes from the bottom of the closet, her makeup and skincare products from the bathroom, her books from the nightstand. "Camden, please, I did not mean it." She was crying now, real tears running down her face. I continued packing without looking at her. "You were upset, so you called me toxic on Facebook for the world to see. I just wanted you to see how hurt I was, she said through her tears. I stopped. I put down the sweater I was holding and turned to face her fully. Amber, you want to hurt me? Talk to me. Use your words like an adult. But you do not get to embarrass me publicly and then say it is nothing. But for 2 years I have walked on eggshells around you, I continued. My voice was still calm, but there was steel in it now. Every fight I apologize. Every time I back down. Every time you make me feel like I am the problem. Not anymore. Amber tried to hug me. Baby, I am sorry. Please, I will delete it. I stepped back. Delete the post. What? Delete it. Right now. Or I am putting your stuff outside tonight. Her expression changed from sad to angry in an instant. No, I am not deleting it. You cannot control me. I nodded slowly. Okay. I went back to packing. I filled both suitcases completely. Her winter coats, her favorite blanket, her collection of candles, everything. When both suitcases were packed and zipped closed, I grabbed the handles and pulled them out of the bedroom through the living room and toward the front door. Camden, you cannot do this. Amber was following me, still crying. Where am I supposed to go? I opened the front door. The evening air hit my face. It was cooler now. The sun had set completely, and the street lights were on. I pulled both suitcases down the 3 steps and placed them carefully on the driveway, side by side, perfectly positioned under the streetlight. Call Taylor, I said. She seemed to think you deserve better. Let her help you find it. Amber stood at the top of the steps. You are such an asshole. I pulled out my phone. I opened the camera app and took a photo of the 2 suitcases sitting on the driveway. The streetlight created dramatic shadows. It was actually a perfect shot. I opened Facebook. I uploaded the photo. I tagged Amber in it. In the caption, I typed, "Start walking." I added a walking woman emoji. Then, I added 2 hashtags, hashtag know your worth and hashtag toxicity-free-zone. I hit post. Within 30 seconds, 5 likes appeared. Derek, my best friend, commented, "Finally, bro," with clapping hands emojis. My younger sister commented, "About time." Other friends started liking it. People were beginning to understand what had happened. Amber's phone buzzed with a notification. She looked at it. Her face turned bright red. I could not tell if it was from anger or embarrassment. Probably both. You asshole," she said again, but her voice was shaking now. I shrugged. I learned from the best. She stared at me for a long moment. Then she grabbed her phone and called someone. Taylor, can you come get me, please? She was crying into the phone. He kicked me out. Yes, now, please. Taylor arrived 15 minutes later in her silver sedan. She got out of the car and glared at me while loading the suitcases into her trunk. I just stood there on the porch with my arms crossed. I even waved. When both suitcases were loaded, Amber turned back to me one last time. You will regret this. I looked her in the eyes. The only thing I regret is not doing it sooner. She got into Taylor's car. The engine started. The headlights came on. I watched them drive down the street until the taillights disappeared around the corner. Then, I walked back inside my house. I closed the door. I locked it. And for the first time in 2 years, I felt like I could breathe. The house was silent. But it was a good kind of silence. Peaceful. Calm. I did not have to worry about saying the wrong thing. I did not have to worry about what would turn into the next argument. I walked to the kitchen and grabbed a beer from the refrigerator. I sat down on the couch and opened Facebook on my phone. My post about the suitcases had over 100 likes already. People were commenting. Friends who had watched me change over the past 2 years were expressing their support. Proud of you, man. She did not deserve you. You did the right thing. Even people I had not talked to in months were reaching out. That night, I slept better than I had in a long time. I did not wake up anxious. I did not have that tight feeling in my chest. I just slept. The next morning, my phone buzzed with a text message. It was from Amber. A long paragraph. I made a terrible mistake. I am so sorry. I love you. I did not mean any of it. Please take me back. I will do anything. Please, Camden. I need you. I read it once. Then I blocked her number. Over the next few days, Amber tried to reach me through other people. Her friends would send messages. She is devastated. She learned her lesson. Can you please just talk to her? I politely declined every time. It is too late. 2 weeks later, I started to feel like myself again. Not the version of myself that had been walking on eggshells. The real me. The person I was before I started doubting everything I said and did. I called up Derek and we went out for beers like we used to. He looked at me from across the table and said, "You look different, man. Lighter." I smiled. I feel lighter. I started reconnecting with the friends I had neglected. I joined my old basketball league again. I spent more time with my family. My mom hugged me one evening after dinner and said, "I am glad you found yourself again." I had not even realized I had lost myself until that moment. Looking back now, I learned some valuable lessons from that relationship. The most important one is this: respect is the foundation of everything. Without respect, love means nothing. It does not matter how much you care about someone. If they do not respect you, what you have is not real love. I also learned to stop ignoring red flags. Those small warning signs were there from the beginning. Amber showed me who she was in those early months. But I ignored it because I wanted to believe in the fantasy of who I thought she could be. Love should not make you blind to reality. Love should not make you doubt yourself constantly. Another lesson I learned is that sometimes silence is more powerful than words. I did not yell at Amber. I did not call her names. I did not argue. I simply took action, and that turned out to be the most powerful response I could have given. Most importantly, I learned to know my worth. For too long, I accepted too little. I let someone treat me in ways I would never treat another person. When I finally recognized my value, I understood that I deserved better. Everyone deserves to be with someone who respects them, communicates honestly, and does not try to humiliate them publicly for attention. Today, I am single and genuinely happy. I am not rushing into another relationship. I am focusing on myself. I am working out more. I am reading books I always wanted to read. I am advancing in my career. I am spending quality time with people who actually care about me. Social media showed me who Amber really was. She thought she could embarrass me publicly, and I would just accept it. She thought I would beg her to take down the post. She thought I would apologize like I always had before. But that day, she learned something important. Respect goes both ways. Or you can start walking. Sometimes the best response is not anger or arguments. Sometimes the best response is peace. And I have never felt more at peace than I do right now. I do not hate Amber. I do not wish bad things for her. I simply wish her well and hope she learns to treat her next partner better. As for me, I am exactly where I need to be. Free, respected, and finally myself again. So let me ask you this: have you ever had to walk away from someone who did not respect you? How did you find the strength to do it? Drop your answer in the comments below. I would love to hear your stories. And if this story resonated with you, hit that like button. Subscribe to this channel for more real-life stories about relationships growth and finding yourself. Share this video with someone who might need to hear it. Someone who is walking on eggshells right now and needs the reminder that they deserve better. Thank you for listening to my story. I hope it helps someone out there find their own peace. Take care of yourselves. Know your worth. And remember, respect is not optional. It is essential.